Karen complained about loud lawnmower, but she was caught sabotaging it. The summer sun hung low over Willow Creek, casting golden streaks across manicured lawns. But the air was thick with something far less serene, the grating whine of a lawnmower. It was Jake's lawnmower, to be precise, chugging faithfully as he pushed it across his modest front yard. But the sound, to Karen next door, was a personal assault, a chainsaw to her fragile peace. Karen stormed out of her pristine colonial-style home, her floral cardigan flapping like a battle flag. "Jake, turn that thing off. It's practically a war crime," she shrieked, hands on hips, her voice slicing through the hum of the mower. Jake, a lanky 28-year-old with a quiet demeanor, paused, wiping sweat from his brow. He'd moved to Willow Creek for its small-town charm, not for this. "Karen, it's 4 p.m. on a Saturday," he said, keeping his tone even. "I'm just mowing my lawn." But Karen wasn't having it. She'd been the self-appointed queen of the neighborhood for years, her complaints a local legend. Last month, she'd called the HOA on Mrs. Delgado's tacky garden gnomes. The month before, she'd reported a teenager's skateboard for disturbing the aesthetic. Now, Jake's lawnmower was her latest crusade. "It's too loud. My migraines can't handle this racket," she snapped, though her eyes gleamed with something sharper than pain control. Jake sighed, restarting the mower. "I'll be done in 10 minutes." But Karen's face twisted, and she marched back inside, muttering about disrespectful kids and taking action. The neighborhood watched from their porches, already bracing for the storm. Over the next week, Karen's campaign escalated. She left passive-aggressive notes taped to Jake's mailbox. "Loud mowers ruin lives. Be considerate." She cornered neighbors at the community mailbox, rallying them against Jake's noise pollution. Most nodded politely, unwilling to tangle with her, but Jake, stubborn and tired of her antics, kept mowing every Saturday, his only day off from his mechanic job. Then came the whispers. Karen had called the city, claiming Jake's mower violated noise ordinances. She'd even posted a rant on the neighborhood's online forum, complete with exaggerated tales of sleepless nights and traumatized pets. "This is a community," she wrote, "not a construction site." The post got 47 likes, mostly from her book club cronies, but Jake noticed a few neighbors rolling their eyes when Karen's name came up. Enter Mrs. Patel, the wild card, a retired botanist who lived across the street. She was quiet but sharp, her yard a jungle of native plants that Karen had once called unkempt. Mrs. Patel had no patience for Karen's theatrics, but kept her distance until she didn't. One evening, as Jake grilled burgers in his backyard, Mrs. Patel shuffled over, her silver braid glinting under the porch light. "Jake," she said, her voice low, "Karen's been sneaking around your garage. I saw her last night, fiddling with something near your mower." Jake frowned, setting down his spatula. "Fiddling like what, Mrs.?" Patel's eyes narrowed. "I couldn't see much, but she had a wrench, looked suspicious." Jake laughed it off, thinking Karen was all bark, but the seed of doubt was planted. The next morning, he checked his garage. The lawnmower sat untouched, or so it seemed. He gave it a once-over, tightened a few bolts, and figured Mrs. Patel was mistaken. Karen was annoying, sure, but sabotaging his mower, that was a stretch. Saturday rolled around, and Jake fired up the mower. It roared to life, then sputtered. Black smoke billowed from the engine, and a sickly grinding noise replaced the usual hum. Oil leaked onto the grass, staining it like a crime scene. Jake killed the engine, his heart sinking. He wasn't just a mechanic by trade, he loved machines, trusted them. This wasn't wear and tear. This was deliberate. He popped the hood, the fuel line was sliced, the spark plug tampered with, and a critical bolt was missing from the blade assembly. Someone had gutted his mower. Jake's hands shook as he pieced it together. Mrs. Patel's warning echoed in his mind. Karen. Fury surged, but Jake kept his cool. He needed proof. He borrowed a neighbor's security camera, a cheap one that barely caught details, and set it up in his garage, angled toward the mower. For 2 days, he waited, mowing nothing, letting the grass grow wild. Karen noticed. Of course. She smirked from her porch, sipping iced tea, probably thinking she'd won. Then, on Tuesday night, the camera caught her. Karen, in a dark hoodie, crept into Jake's unlocked garage, her flashlight beam darting like a thief's. She knelt by the mower, her wrench glinting as she loosened bolts and poured something sugar syrup. Jake later confirmed into the gas tank. The footage was grainy but unmistakable. Karen wasn't just complaining, she was destroying. Jake didn't confront her right away. He wanted her to feel the weight of her actions. He called a neighborhood meeting, claiming it was about community harmony. Karen showed up, smug as ever, ready to lecture about noise levels. The meeting was held in Jake's backyard, the broken mower on display like a fallen soldier, its parts strewn across a tarp. Neighbors murmured, sensing something big. "Karen," Jake said, his voice steady but sharp, "you've been loud about my mower. Care to explain this?" He hit play on his laptop, projecting the security footage onto a bedsheet strung between two trees. Gas rippled through the crowd as Karen's face appeared, clear as day, sabotaging the mower. Her smugness melted into panic, her mouth opening and closing like a fish. "That's not me," she stammered, but the crowd wasn't buying it. "Mrs. Patel," stepped forward, her voice cutting through the tension. "I saw you that night." "Karen, you thought no one was watching?" The neighbors erupted. Mr. Delgado, still bitter about his gnomes, shouted, "You've been bullying us for years." A teenager piped up, "You got my skateboard banned." Even Karen's book club friends shifted uncomfortably, their loyalty crumbling. Karen tried to pivot, claiming she was protecting the neighborhood, but Jake wasn't done. He held up the repair bill, $450. "You broke it. Karen, you'll pay for it." The crowd nodded, their murmurs turning into demands. Karen's face flushed crimson, her control slipping away. The fallout was swift. The HOA, fed up with Karen's complaints, issued her a fine for malicious property damage. Jake's repair bill was covered, not by Karen's goodwill, she refused to apologize, but by a crowdfunding effort from neighbors who'd had enough of her reign. The online forum exploded with memes of Karen's grainy footage, captioned, "Lawnmower Karen strikes again." Her book club dwindled to 2 members. Her pristine reputation shattered. Jake's mower was fixed, and when he fired it up the next Saturday, the neighborhood cheered. Karen watched from her window, curtains twitching, her kingdom reduced to a lonely throne. Mrs. Patel, sipping tea on her porch, caught Jake's eye and winked. Sometimes justice didn't need a courtroom, just a camera and a community fed up. What do you think? Did Karen get what she deserved? Or was she just misunderstood? Share your thoughts below.